Right then, lads and lasses, how we're doing. Injury news is what we've all been wanting, and injury news is what we've got today. As of this morning, Eddie Howe, the club, and Craig Hope have all give us fantastic injury news. Some not so fantastic, some pretty exciting for our game tomorrow against Crystal Palace in return to football. Can't wait. Firstly, I want to apologise. This video may not be the best of quality. Outside, it's dull, it's raining, it's windy, it's absolutely horrible. So the natural lighting isn't fantastic, but let's get straight into the injury news and what Eddie Howe has also said about the Tonali situation as well. First of all, let's get into what I'm structuring this video as is who we've got the least injury news of first, and then the most to the back end of the video. Starting with Sven Botman, haven't got that much about him. And by the way, you've all been asking how do I sort of get my information as I'm recording. I read it off Twitter, of course, off reliable sources, and I write it down in this book and I just read it. It's propped in front of my camera. So Sven Botman is improving, and the 2 weeks, of course, meaning the international break, has been fantastic for him. Craig Hope also says he improves but has remained a doubt. With Sven Botman, undoubtedly he is probably our most important player. Sven Botman, Longstaff or Jolan, our three most important players for me. Obviously Nick Pope is, but you can't really class him as one, can you? He's a goalkeeper, he's not going to be injured for months and months and months. But Sven Botman, fantastic player. Seriously, one of the best centre-backs, and I can guarantee he will be one of the best centre-backs in the world if he continues going on like this. At 23 years old, having the elegance as a centre-back, what he has is phenomenal. But if Sven Botman is back, fantastic news. Don't sort of rush him back. I mean, with all due respect, it's Crystal Palace. We've got Dortmund on Wednesday, and I was saying Crystal Palace are going to be a hard team. I've then looked at their injury record. Eberi Eze, out. Mikel Elise, out. They're playing Odsonne Edouard and Matete, which, yes, he played decent against us at Selhurst Park last season, but it's not too much to worry about, in my opinion. Like, we could do this without Sven Botman. Jamal Lascelles at right centre-back, Short left centre-back. That's perfect for me. Now, on to Alexander Isak, who went to the Swedish camp, of course, in the international break. Swedish camp's medical team then assessed him, and he got pulled out of it, of course, with not being fit enough. Alex hasn't trained with us, says Eddie Howe, of course. Alex hasn't trained with Newcastle, so we're going to leave it late to see if he's fit and available. Now, what I do want to say, and you all know, of course, I mean, I do believe that Eddie Howe does tell the truth, of course, but it's not sort of mind games. But Eddie Howe loves to, even with being linked in transfer market with players, he seems to say, like, oh, we don't know much about this. Next thing we know, Lewis Hall signs. You know what I mean? Like, he likes to lead the other managers on. He doesn't let nothing go. And by all means, I love that he does. That's fantastic. He keeps it very discreet. And I like that. It keeps the other team guessing. Of course, like I said, he was pulled out of the Swedish squad and hasn't played a game for them. And he hasn't trained with Newcastle, as Eddie Howe says, which is a big doubt. And we've also got news on Callum Wilson, which we will touch over now, because, of course, if Callum Wilson and Alexander Isak aren't playing, it's going to be very, very unlikely for Newcastle United to score goals. Of course, Callum Wilson here. This is by Joel Bland, and now I want to state before this, I'm not taking digs at Joel Bland, of course, but I've reported on Joel Bland many, many times and told his news about him, and he's been fantastic. But recently, he's went back on his word a few times. He said Joe Willock would be back for Crystal Palace. Now he's saying he's back in light training. So take this bit with a pinch of salt. Of course, again, this isn't by me. This is by sources which are all credit as well. Joel Bland says Callum Wilson is fit and will be featured tomorrow against Crystal Palace. Yet again, take that with a pinch of salt, because Joel Bland, with all due respect, has been wrong the past couple of days. Joe Linton, yet again, probably one of our most important players in the team. Joe Linton, Sean Longstaff, Sven Botman, yet again. This is positive. This is very positive injury news. As Eddie Howe says, he does believe that he could play. Now, this is exactly what Eddie Howe said. We hope he's back this weekend. He's trained well and looks good. He's done a lot of work, and I'm confident as I sit here now that he is going to be okay. Fantastic. If Joe Linton can play, yet again, same sort of situation with Sven Botman. If he's half and half, don't play him. If he's 99-1, if Joe Linton is not fully fit, don't play him. I think that was more of the case when he last got injured. We brought him on and we didn't sort of need to bring him on, and he just got injured straight away. Yet again, if he's not 100%, don't play him. We've got Borussia Dortmund, which is a much bigger game. Of course, the Premier League is a league we want to prioritise, but we could probably do that without Joel. And what would our midfield look like? Well, it's a tough one, because, of course, Tonali is included in this situation as well, which we will get on to Tonali in a second. And just before we do that, the last two bits of injury news, and then we'll get on to that Tonali situation. Joe Willock and Lewis Miley are both out, of course. I think Lewis Miley's got some sort of flu, not flu, but it's, I forgot exactly what it was, but it was a sort of flu. And of course, Joe Willock, report by Joel Bland, is that he will be in light training for the Crystal Palace game, which Christ, we have missed Joe Willock, haven't we? Just bringing him on for the extra fresh legs and the attacking output that he brings, it's seriously fantastic. Joe Willock is such an underrated footballer. I can't wait till he's back. I've said this before and I'll say it again. He's going to feel like a new signing, where it feels like we haven't had Joe Willock in a very, very long time. But on to the Sandro Tonali situation, this is what Eddie Howe had to say. Right, so now we're going to have a look at what Eddie Howe said about Sandro Tonali. And by the way, this actually hits me in my heart. I feel strongly about this. Eddie Howe, and we'll see what he said here. I'll explain it to you. He has proven to me he is the spit and double of Kevin Keegan in a man management situation. Them two are absolutely fantastic. Yet again, we'll get into this properly, right? But the way Eddie Howe is comforting Sandro Tonali, speaking so nicely about him, about the unfortunate situation, it genuinely warms my heart. Let's take a look at what the very start of it was. He's had a very, very difficult couple of weeks and he's been dealing with a lot. From what I can see, he's been handling himself really, really well and dealing with his emotions strongly. But I'll have to make a call. Before we get into what Eddie Howe says, should Sandro Tonali start against Crystal Palace? Yeah. Personally, I look at it from two different perspectives, and one I feel definitely more strongly about. Sandro Tonali, we might not see him for another year. Do we play him against Crystal Palace and get the absolute most out of him that we could? Or on the other hand, do we not play Sandro Tonali as he's kind of suffering from, well, he is suffering from a mental illness, and we've seen it, it looks like it's wrecking him down, it looks like it's draining him. Is he in the right frame of mind to play? It's up to Eddie Howe and Sandro Tonali himself, but you let me know, because yet again, if I was the manager and we had the capability to not play Sandro Tonali, I wouldn't play him, you know. Look, son, get yourself together with your family. Don't go over Italy, because you could get attached back there. Oh, I want to go over here, boss. See if you can bring your family back over to Newcastle. Take this time to rest mentally. Go to your mental health classes or whatever they are. Go as a rehabilitation. I think that's classed as gambling as well. Go there, you know, get yourself sorted out and take time. Eddie Howe, I can guarantee, will go and visit him personally and help him. But yet again, he's a fantastic manager. And this is what we're going to have a look at now. I have to bring it back to the football and make what is the best decision for the team, just what we've been speaking about there. He also says, for me, the most important part of this incident is Sandro's welfare. What a manager Eddie Howe is. Seriously, I can't thank this man enough for being Newcastle United's manager. Not just because of the fantastic recruitment him and his whole staff have given Newcastle United, not for the Champions League nights or the Wembley night that they give us, not for the fantastic football we play, but the way they are nurturing and looking after our players fantastically when they're going through horrific stuff like this. We feel as a football club straight away it was to throw our arms around him and Sandro, of course, to give him the love and support he needs to find solutions to the problems he has. Mr. Eddie Howe, someone give this man a knighthood. Honestly, Eddie Howe, hats off to you. I can't get over how great of not only a manager but a man this person is. Honestly, Eddie Howe's top tier. If Eddie Howe was in my room right now, I'd shake this man's hand 10 times over. Fantastic. Seriously fantastic. But yet again, that was the injury news for today. And would you play Sandro Tonali tomorrow? Yet again, in my opinion, if we were capable of not playing him, I wouldn't play him. I don't think you'll be in the right frame of mind, but that's completely up to him. If he's mentally strong enough, play him. Completely up to him and Eddie Howe. But thank you very much for watching. I've been Jody Josh. Smash the like button if you are new around here, you've enjoyed the updates and you've enjoyed the current situation. Please hit that subscribe button. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Jody Josh. Go and enjoy your day, and football's back tomorrow. However, lads.